Nearly 25 years ago, I met two icons of the renal field, one a doctor and one a patient. Both died in 2022. During their lifetimes, these two individuals had enormous influence on the renal field as they advocated tirelessly for a focus on patient engagement and self-treatment, which we know as home dialysis, as a key to the full life despite kidney failure. Dr. Christopher Blagg was a nephrologist who had been very active in the very beginnings of chronic dialysis therapy in the mid-20th century in England and in the US. He went on to be mentored at the University of Washington by Dr. Belding Scribner, the founder of chronic dialysis care. And Dr. Blagg became a world leader in home hemodialysis, a patient rehabilitation champion, a tenacious public policy advocate, and for nearly 3 decades, he was the top executive of the world's first dialysis organization, the Northwest Kidney Centers in Seattle, Washington. Dr. Blagg passed away in the spring of 2022 at age 90, and the world lost a kind, gracious British gentleman, a dedicated physician, and a tireless champion for home dialysis. Through Dr. Blagg's advocacy, he convinced the U.S. Congress to pass a law in 1972 that established a very unique program. Federal health insurance, Medicare insurance, would cover all U.S. citizens with kidney failure, regardless of age. What a huge benefit his actions have made for millions of Americans that now have the financial security of health insurance to cover their expenses if they have kidney failure. In his honor, a named lectureship in kidney disease and public policy is held annually at the American Society of Nephrology's International Conference, Kidney Week. Dr. Blagg often broke new ground. He was a founder of the Renal Physicians Association, very active in the American Association of Kidney Patients, and he established the Northwest Organ Procurement Organization to secure organs for transplants. Even after his formal retirement in 1998, Dr. Blagg freely traveled the world and gave speeches about the rehabilitation value of home dialysis and the history of modern dialysis as he had lived it up close and personal. He was a meticulous historian, and the world had accurate facts about developments in dialysis therapy when he published his book in 2017, From Miracle to Mainstream, Creating the World's First Dialysis Organization. Dr. Blagg truly made the world a better place through his leadership and tireless advocacy for the best quality of life for people living with permanent kidney failure. Nancy Spaeth was truly a larger-than-life individual and a force to be reckoned with. With her passing at age 74 in January of 2022, we lost a unique and tenacious kidney patient, probably the longest living person with kidney failure in the world. She lived 56 years, supported by dialysis, home dialysis in particular, and 4 kidney transplants. She was most passionate about patient engagement in care, in home dialysis, and patient involvement in research to advance knowledge. Nancy exuded confidence when discussing her journey with kidney disease, which started when she was stung by a swarm of bees at a young age. She was selected by the Seattle Admissions Committee in the mid-1960s to receive life-saving dialysis at age 18. She went on to live a full life, attending college while on dialysis, getting married, having 2 children, then grandchildren, and staying employed in many roles, including as teacher and nurse. In the 1990s, Nancy participated in the first human trials of Epogen for the treatment of anemia associated with kidney failure. She often told her dramatic story about how this research resulted in a drug that changed her life for the better and millions of others. She was so proud to have been one of the first individuals in that research study. Throughout her life, Nancy provided service to the kidney community through volunteer roles, representing the patient perspective. She loved giving speeches and told her story wherever she could. She always self-identified as a kidney patient in her introductions, and she told her life story with a dramatic message that struck her audience, who were amazed by her vibrancy, longevity, and accomplishments. When I started my job as CEO of Northwest Kidney Centers in 1998, Nancy showed me how peritoneal dialysis worked by bringing me into her work setting so I could see her do her dialysis at work. She enjoyed demonstrating how a patient could do their own care at work, at home, and she even did peritoneal dialysis on an airplane once. She took me to her first kidney doctor, Dr. Belding Scribner, the founder of chronic hemodialysis, at his Seattle houseboat. We engaged in lively conversation about the early years of dialysis and the values of patient engagement and care that need to be promulgated even more today. Nancy loved to tell the story that she would dress in her short black dress and go to Scrib's houseboat to meet visiting grant makers, show them her Scribner shunt, and impress them enough about the rehabilitation potential of dialysis to ensure the funds kept flowing. Her joy in contributing to the wider community's knowledge about life with kidney disease continued throughout her long life. Nancy was a great docent of dialysis history, as she could describe in detail how she built her dialyzer and conducted home dialysis at home at a young age. Her lived history of the field was unmatched by any other individual patient living today. Nancy was a petite person physically, but the biggest personality to help others that many of us have encountered. She reminded health professionals that they need to look beyond the patient to see the person who is there and to never ever set limits for someone else.